I have paid $991 for this beautiful 1440p gaming PC. And if you guys follow my guide, you too can build this exact same PC for the same price. You get performance, aesthetics, and features all for less than $1,000 in the midst of a memory and storage crisis. Let me show you guys how, right after today's sponsor. Remember when people said we'd have flying cars by now? Well, we don't quite have flying cars, but we did get Clanker pool cleaners. Meet the MOVA Diver A10. It's powered by 3 brushless motors generating up to 6,000 GPH suction power. And unlike myself, it actually enjoys going down. Underwater, of course. That means it can pull in everything from dust and sand to leaves, insects, algae, and other debris. It runs for up to 4 hours on a single charge and can clean pools up to 1,900 square feet. But what makes it stand out from the other pool cleaners is the Edge Plus AI-driven technology. It continuously tracks pool edges for better coverage instead of randomly driving around. Then it performs dual scrubbing passes at the waterline to remove stubborn buildup. It also uses a 3-micron ultra-fine filtration system, so it catches tiny stuff most cleaners leave behind. And since it's fully cordless, there are no tangled hoses or setup headache. But if you want more control, there are 8 different cleaning modes available through the app. When it's done cleaning, it automatically parks near the pool edge for easy pickup. So no flying cars yet, but this will save you so much time if you own a pool. Check it out by clicking my link down below. For the CPU, I'm going with the Intel Core i5-12600. This is actually the first time I'm using an Intel CPU in one of my budget builds in a long time for several reasons. Reason number 1, it's compatible with both DDR4 and DDR5 memory, so we're setting ourselves up for future-proofing. If you decide you want to jump ship onto DDR5, you can reuse the same CPU and just pick up new memory and a motherboard. Number 2, it slightly outperforms the Ryzen 7 5800X, which is the AMD counterpart. So between these two chips, the 12600 is the better choice. There's also virtually no performance difference between a non-K and the K version other than overclocking capabilities. The only problem is the price. A brand new one goes for $230 on Newegg. Or if you look in the aftermarket, you can find these CPUs reselling for around $150, which will save you $80 that you can put towards something else in the build. Now, I do recommend buying CPUs on trusted websites like eBay to make sure your purchase is protected. In fact, right after I bought this CPU, I found another listing for $10 less. So yeah, you can actually get the CPU for less than $150. The motherboard we're going with is the Asus B760M AYW Wi-Fi. This has PCI Gen 5 support on the top lane with 2 M.2 slots and built-in Wi-Fi. The only downside, it has 2 DIMM slots instead of 4. So upgrading memory in the future will require you to buy a new set. But most people only use 2 DIMMs anyways because it's always going to be the most stable for XMP. So even if your motherboard has 2 or 4 slots, it doesn't really make a difference. You're still going to need a new kit just so you can stick with dual channel. We are doing a white build, so going with a white cooler makes the most sense. There are a lot of really good options out there for 360 EIOs that go for around $50, but ultimately decided to go with the Cooler Master 360 Elite as it had the cleanest design and it was a more reputable brand compared to the others. I mean, this is a bit overkill for our processor, but 360 EIOs are super cheap. But if you want to go with something a little cheaper and save around $30, then I would recommend going with the ID cooling for $19. But if you favor a little bit more cooling and something a little nicer, KeenCool is actually a much better option for $25. Memory prices are still ridiculous, even for DDR4. It doesn't seem like the prices are coming down anytime soon. You're expected to pay at least $200 for a 32GB DDR4 kit. So my recommendation for RAM is gonna be the same as my last video. Do not buy new DDR4 memory sticks. Buy used instead. In fact, memory is one of the easiest components to buy secondhand. You can easily find them ranging from $80, which is on the lower end, all the way up to $120 on the higher end if you fancy some RGB lighting. I don't know why there are still YouTubers out there that are recommending their audience to buy new memory. Like, it just makes no sense to me. You can save that $100 and you could put it towards other meaningful parts in your build. There are so many good options on used DDR4 sticks in the marketplace, and you don't even have to buy them at listing price. It took me literally only 5 minutes to find this pair of 32GB Team Group Delta RGBs nearby. This guy had it listed for $175 per pair, but I offered $120 and he accepted. He actually ended up selling me both kits for $180. So technically I paid only $80 per 32 gigabyte kit. The point I'm trying to make here is that you can easily find a 32 gigabyte DDR4 kit for around $100, okay? Whatever you do, do not buy brand new, especially in today's market. If you don't like touching anything used and you must buy brand new, then the only sticks that are worth it at the time of making this video are the silicone powers that have 3200 mega transfers CL16. And if you're doing a white build, the push kills are a nice option for $180, which is the cheapest 32 gigabyte kit currently available. And if those are sold out, the acclimators are also a really nice option. Like always, I will update the description section with alternative options in case the items are out of stock or if there are any price changes. For a $1,000 gaming PC, you shouldn't go with anything less than an RTX 3080 or equivalent. This will give you RTX 4070 gaming performance, but without buying an overpriced graphics card. These cards go anywhere from $250 to $320 depending on the model, but as you've seen in my past videos, I've been able to consistently buy RTX 3080 Founders cards for $300 each. You get 12 gigs of VRAM, which is more than plenty for all the demanding titles out there, and it will get you really nice 1440p gaming performance. I get it, guys, I really do, okay? It's not glamorous. No one likes buying used PC components, but unfortunately, times have changed. Memory, storage, and GPU prices are at an all-time high. And if you want your money to go far, and you want the most value out of your system, this is what I recommend. The sad thing is, I don't even get paid recommending used products. Affiliate links only work with new products, so I'm not even getting paid for this. But I'd rather not take a commission and save you guys money by steering you in the right direction. With that said, if you guys must buy a brand new GPU, then the only card that competes with the RTX 3080 is the RTX 5060 Ti 16 gig model. But unfortunately, that's going to cost you almost double the price, which will bring the total budget of this PC close to $1,300. The AMD equivalent is the RX 9060 XT 16 gig model, which is slightly cheaper, but still much more expensive than any RTX 3080 on the aftermarket. Now, if you had to make a decision between the 9060 XT and the 5060 Ti, I would go with the 9060 XT because it pretty much offers the same raw performance of the 5060 Ti, except it will cost you $150 less. Now, if you're doing a white build like mine, I do recommend grabbing the white version for $10 more. At the end of the day, you guys, it's your money, it's your choice. The only thing I can do is give you multiple options and guide you in the right direction. Now, the case I decided to build in is the Montech King 15 Pro, as it checked off 3 categories for me: aesthetics, features, and value. This is a beautiful BTF-compatible micro ATX case that has a curved panoramic glass panel and 4 pre-installed RGB fans. You get triple reverse blade fans on the bottom for intake and 1 exhaust on the back. There's plenty of space for a 360 AIO on the top, and you get support for full ATX power supplies, which remains hidden behind this chamber up top for a clean, minimalistic look. In terms of connectivity, you get dual USB 3 and 1 Type-C in the front, and the case comes with a fan hub, so you can hook up additional fans and RGB accessories without having to buy a USB hub separately. For only $71, this case is unbeatable when it comes to aesthetics and value. Also, quick side note, the lighting from the fans play really nicely with the ROG software from the motherboard. In fact, I was able to sync everything together and control the lights from the fans, the AIO, and even the RAM sticks. Storage is another thing I do not recommend buying brand new, as it will run you about $160 for a 1 terabyte Gen 4 NVMe drive. If you want to save the most money, look in the aftermarket because you can easily find a 1 terabyte drive anywhere from $80 up to $120 for a Gen 4. You can literally put that savings back into your PC for cosmetic upgrades like cable extensions, or you can pick up our new 83-piece screwdriver kit, which, by the way, is back in stock. You get 72 precision bits, a flexible extender, a box cutter, which is unheard of, a manual driver with a built-in extension, and the electric screwdriver itself with 4 different torque settings. So pick it up while it's still in stock. Now, if you don't trust used storage devices, then I would recommend buying the Kingston NV3 for $164, as this is a Gen 4 drive with speeds of up to 6,000 megabytes per second. Or if you want faster speeds, the crucial P310 for $170 would be the next step up. But again, I encourage you guys to buy secondhand for the storage as well to save the most money. I actually found an AGI Gen 4 drive on eBay for $110, saving me $53 that I put towards other upgrades. And finally, powering the entire build is the Sama GT 850 watt power supply that is gold certified. There are no other reputable power supplies out there that come close to this quality and price. You get a fully modular gold certified power supply that's rated B on the SPL PSU tier list, and it's in the color white, which fits perfectly in our color scheme. It even comes with a 450 watt 16-pin cable that works with NVIDIA 40 and 50 series graphics cards. The cables themselves are not bad at all, but if you have an extra $20 to spend, I do recommend grabbing some cable extensions to really clean up the build. It's not required to build a PC, it's just a nice cosmetic upgrade. So once again, altogether, I have paid $992 on this PC, but how does it perform? Let's find out. Not surprised. Very impressive 1440p gaming performance across the board. If you guys are looking to game in 1080p, I would say this is slightly overkill. I would not build this for 1080p gaming, and I would wait for my $800 budget PC coming up very soon. But if you guys want to copy this exact build, then I'll drop a link to everything I used down below, along with some alternatives in case there are some price changes or if items go out of stock. Also, make sure to watch my build guide to help you build a PC if you guys are new to PC building. Let me know what budget I should work on next. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one.